everybody. So today is Saturday. That means it's time for family movie night. And today we're continuing on my classic musical month, and we're talking about one of the most silly musicals to have ever been released by MGM, and it is Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. And it's one of those movies that if you like explain the plot, you're like, oh wow, yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, on the surface it is problematic, but like it's all so silly that I don't think you can take it as like a gritty depiction of kidnapping. Like this is just, it's just, you kind of just have to accept it as broad comedy. And there's lots of things that when we think about it are actually really violent, but that we accept because it's part of a comedy. When you think about Home Alone, all that violence, we think about all the various sort of slapstick. People are slapped in the face, people have anvils drop on them, things like that are very violent and silly, but it's all part of like the joke, it's all part of comedy. And I think that that's the same here. This is not like a cautionary tale in any way. It is just a silly musical. It starts out with Howard Keel. He is the oldest of these seven brothers who have been kind of isolated in 1850 Oregon. He goes to town. He has decided that he's tired of being alone and he's going to get married. And he finds tough talking Millie. And Millie falls for him the minute she sees him and agrees to marry him on the spot. And that's where you get "Bless Your Beautiful Hide, Wherever You May Be." So the songs are a lot of fun. It is lyrics by Johnny Mercer and music by Gene DePaul.
Bless your beautiful hide, prepare to bend your knee, and take that vow, cause I'm a-telling you now.
I don't know about all the brothers, but at least our two leads in Howard Keel and Jane Powell both sung all of their songs, which I really appreciate because a lot during this era were dubbed. So it's something I think kind of special. We get a bunch of songs right out of the gate, like "Bless Your Beautiful Hide" and then "Wonderful, Wonderful Day" from that Millie sings. And then "When You're in Love," we also hear from Millie. Of course, once they get up to the house, she is shocked to see that there are six other men there and that they are a mess. So she is going to shape them all up. And I think that all of us sort of growing up had our favorites of the brothers. So there's Adam, Benjamin, Caleb, Daniel, Ephraim, Frank, and Gideon. Those were the brothers. And I think my favorite was always Benjamin because he was pretty hot. And then basically what happens is that Millie starts teaching the boys about courting and finding a love. And she sings "Go and Court, Go and Court," and that's really fun.
Or to catch a rabbit on the run, but you find it's twice as important going courting.
And so then there's this whole thing at this barn raising, and that's one of the most impressive sequences of the whole movie. The dancing is really good. All of the brothers were cast because of their dance background more than their acting background, and this whole sequence is really impressive with the barn raising. But they soon learn that there's no chance that they're going to be able to be with these women, and that the townspeople have it out for them. And so Adam has read Millie's book, Plain Tough Lives, and so he develops this idea that they are going to follow the Sabin women from Playtalk and where they abducted all these women in ancient Rome, and then they ended up falling in love with them. Well, so they decide that they're going to do it, and he sings Sabin Women, which is probably one of the highlights of the movie. It's completely ridiculous, very silly.
Oh, yes, and the women were sobbing, 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 crocodile tears. Mighty sad. On account of old Dobbin, Dobbin really rattled their ears.
And so they get this great idea. They kidnap the women, and it's also done very over the top, very silly, very like cling cling, kind of a thing. All these abductions. It's not like gritty. And of course, once the women get up there, then Millie is horrified and sends all of the brothers to the barn, and Adam gets all upset and goes and stays at his hunting cabin.
House is for the girls. You're not going to set foot in it as long as they're here.
Of course, there's lots of like back and forth between the men and the women, and we get June bride. They say, when you marry in June, you're a bride all your life. So that's fun.
Oh, they say when you marry in June, you're a bride all your life.
Spring, when they start to get a little more cozy together, because they've had the pass has been blocked by an avalanche, so they haven't been able to take the girls home. And so then we have this scene between Gideon and Adam, where Gideon tells about Millie having a baby, and don't you want to come see your own kin? And I might have known she'd have a girl, which is horrible to say, but Adam, is prideful, and he eventually comes to realize what he did was wrong, and he realizes that if somebody did what he did to his little girl Hannah, he would be so horrified and upset, and so he's going to take it back. Then the boys don't want him to take it back, and so it's just this back and forth, and then the ending is very silly, with them hearing the baby cry, and which one of you is the mother of this baby, and they all raise their hands because they want to be forced to marry. So there's this big shotgun wedding at the end. And
a while back I heard a wee babe crying in the house. Whose is it?
Mine!
Silly. I mean, if you want to take offense to it, then I guess you can. But like I said, most things in comedy are things that you could take offense to if you thought about them in the right way. And this is just, I don't think anybody involved or anybody was like advocating this was a good way to find a partner. It's ridiculous. It's silly. From the very beginning, it's all painted in like I said, even the abductions are like knock knock, and like very silly and over the top, and so I just think you kind of have to take it that way, like you're watching a slapsticky kind of comedy, and just enjoy it for the songs, the performances, the laughs, and I certainly do. I think it's real funny, and a very enjoyable piece of I just think it's a very enjoyable classic musical, and so one I've always liked since I was little. So yeah, let me know what you think about this one. Do you think I'm giving it too much grace for what the story is? Put in the comments section. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And please check out all of my classic musical reviews. I would love to hear your thoughts on all of those. I mean, to me, something like Carousel tries to get like way grittier. It tries to have like emotion and, be about something. So when Lori tells or when she tells her daughter that sometimes someone can hit you and it hurts, but it's all about love, that whole thing, that it's like, it's actually trying to be this like inspirational message. This is just trying to be silly. This is just a comedy. It's not trying to like be gritty or real or emotional or inspirational or anything like that. So I enjoy it. I think it's a lot of fun, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on this and any of the classic musicals I have reviewed. And you can check out all my theater reviews, rachelsreviewstheater.com. Also on Stage Blog podcast. Been having so much fun on that podcast the last couple of months. So please take a look at that. And please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. And check out the Patreon group and merch store. And thanks so much. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.